Hey my beautiful peeps, what's going on everybody? It's Ann from CancerMoonsTarot and welcome in here to your mid-January 2024 tarot reading. How are you? Hope you guys are well. Of course, this version is going to be the all signs check-in version, so I will be going from Aries to Pisces today, and I will have timestamps in the description box as well as in the pinned top comment below for your convenience if you wish to skip ahead and go ahead and watch your sign. But either way though guys, just want to say first and foremost, Happy New Year everybody. I hope you're excited setting foot here into 2024. I hope that the first half so far has been pretty awesome for you coming into January, but we're going to take a look here now into your mid-month. As always, I do like to mention if you're interested in a personal reading, you can check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. First link in the description below if you would like to book me there. Without a further ado though, let's get started, and we're going to start out here with Team Aries. So let's see what's going on here for our beautiful Ram fam. All right, messages coming in here for our Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, coming on into mid-January 2024. Let's see what we got going on here with you beautiful peeps. What do we got in store for Aries mid-January 2024? Let's go ahead and begin, starting out with the overall energy of the second half of the month. King of Wands. Taking a look here at your current energy, we have here the Four of Cups, what it is you're dealing with, Two of Pentacles at this time, and looking at the outcome, we do have here the Judgment showing up as well, jumping into mid-January. So, King of Wands coming into play for you. Definitely a card of having your eyes on the prize, really putting some time here into what you're feeling drawn to, attracted to, so you definitely have some main sort of focus setting foot into the second half of the month. However, while you may have a main focus, you are also currently ignoring someone or something at this time with the Four of Cups. So it feels to me like you're shifting gears this month. Some of you may feel completely detached from maybe the old habits you've had. Maybe you're really interested in new habits at this time. Some of you may feel completely detached from people, and you may feel very much so in tune with a new group of people, whether this is a new group of friends, somebody new you're connecting with romantically, etc. But this second half of the month really does sum up that energy of out with the old and in with the new is what I'm feeling for you at this time. Having a look at what you're dealing with here, Two of Pentacles, this is an energy right now stating that you're at a point where things are shifting and things are fluctuating. I definitely think you're starting to take note here how you're not really in resonance with what you used to be in resonance with, or whom you've used to be in resonance with as well, as new interests are really taking over at this time. Looking at the outcome here, the Judgment, being incredibly open here to new experiences and taking a chance on someone or something new. So looking at this energy for you guys, definitely out with the old and in with the new coming into January, right? Looking at the mid-month portion, but I feel here overall, when it comes to that Four of Cups, you're just not connecting with people or situations in ways that you used to. Maybe even for some of you, this could be a point where your career might be changing as well. You might not feel as connected to the career you've previously had. However, maybe there's something new of interest that's really buzzing for you at this time coming into mid-January. But yeah, I'm really feeling that vibe here with the King of Wands coming into play. Like there's definitely some sort of new interest here for Aries at this time. Now, whatever that interest may be, guys, once again, this could be an interest in a new career. This could be an interest in a new person. It could even be an interest in new hobbies or a new kind of lifestyle. Some of you may not like your previous lifestyle, so maybe you're drawn and attracted to a new one. Maybe some of you guys used to, not necessarily, maybe you had a certain diet in the past, right? It doesn't have to be anything super intense like with people, but maybe you had a certain diet in the past. Maybe now your lifestyle has become, vegetarian. Maybe that's where you're at right now. That seems appealing. That's what's grabbing your interest and attention. So definitely a shift showing up here, jumping into mid-January 2024. Yeah, we have here the Devil. I think that you felt really stuck with your previous circumstances, guys, okay? So whatever this might have been, Four of Cups that you're ignoring, you felt stuck and trapped with your previous circumstances. It wasn't something that was serving you, or maybe it was starting to have a bit of a negative impact on you. If this was work, maybe work became too stressful. Maybe friends became too stressful. Maybe a relationship became too stressful, but something brand new definitely has struck a flame in you, King of Wands, and feels much more appealing. So I definitely see many of you here going towards the new and giving some sort of new situation a chance here with this Judgment card, okay? All right, Team Ram fam, I would say here, definitely make preparations to go towards what you're feeling called towards now. I think you're going to start to notice that you might not be in resonance anymore with certain situations, and as you fall out of that vibrational resonance, you're going to be jumping into a new vibrational resonance with an entirely new timeline, okay? Very interesting stuff. Of course, take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't, but Aries, thank you guys so much for tuning into your mid-month nonetheless. Really appreciate you, and very interesting message to say the least, all right? Let's keep it positive popping, pushing, and moving forward. So we have done our Ram fam. Let's go ahead and hop on into Taurus. Team Taurus, how's it hanging? And let's see what's going on here for the second half of your January. So what's going on here for Team Taurus? Oh, that was a horrible shuffle. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-January 2024. What's going to be in store here, please, for our beautiful zodiac signs of the bull? Messages here for Taurus throughout mid-January 2024. Let's go ahead and have ourselves a look. Starting out with the overall energy for the mid-month, we got a Queen of Swords. Taking a look here at your current energy, we have the Wheel of Fortune, what it is you're dealing with, Taurus, Eight of Cups at this time, and lastly, for the outcome, King of Wands showing up for you too. So let's go ahead and jump on into this. Taurus, I do want to mention Queen of Swords coming in here for the overall energy. This is naturally representative of seeing things incredibly clearly or making very clear-cut decisions. You have a very clear choice in mind, and it seems to me like you guys are executing it flawlessly. So this is an energy of there is no ands, ifs, or buts about something. I'm just going to do it, right? Looking at the current energy, we have here the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is often representative of some big changes coming along or coming into play for you. So I think for some of you guys, you've been starting to see very clearly what you intend to do and what you want to do going forward into this brand new year. Definitely feels like this energy started out in the beginning of January, but it's probably playing out here throughout the rest of January too. So you know what the big idea is. You are finally starting to see what I see in this reading as the big picture. Maybe some of you are seeing there has to be a definitive change in my career in order for me to gain more success. Maybe some of you are seeing that there has to be a definitive change in my relationships in order for a sense of success. Or maybe you're looking at yourself and saying there has to be some sort of definitive change, because I'm feeling that and I'm hearing that very prominently, right? Like there needs to be a change of definition, right? We got to make sure we make a massive change here this year because you're seeing how something is flawed and not serving you at this time. So looking at what you're dealing with, Eight of Cups, energy of walking away. As always, though, guys, when we're walking away from something, we're also walking towards something brand new. So I do see that you guys are figuring out what needs to change in your life in order for you to be successful. This could be in the areas of your health, the areas of your relationships and personal connections, the areas of work, or the areas of your habits and habitual energy. But overall, you see things that need to change. You know, sometimes it can be very difficult to recognize changes we need to make within ourselves, or even changes we need to make within our environment. It can be pretty tricky sometimes to fully see the big picture and see exactly how they're affecting us. But I think 2023, in a way for you, Taurus, kind of put things into perspective. And 2024 being a brand new year, creating and sparking that motivation had you say, you know what, enough is enough. I can clearly see how something in my life needs to change majorly, and I'm going to make sure that I start taking action on that. So guys, there is no more waiting for things to change. You are becoming the action that you've needed. And at the end of the day here with the King of Wands coming up for the outcome, I see this energy as you guys being excited to go forward and to create something new. So you're definitely in a space where you're very motivated, King of Wands. You're very focused on the big picture and the big idea. And I see you executing things flawlessly once again with that Queen of Swords. So I like it, Team Taurus, you know? Like I did mention to you previously, I think sometimes it can be very hard to see what needs to change in our lives. It could be hard to break out of old patterns. It could be hard to, break away from maybe some of the stories we've told ourselves over time that have become core beliefs within our system. But I see for many of you, it's like, I'm at that point where I needed to take a step back majorly. And I feel like this happened in 2023. You took a step back from something and you finally get the big picture. You see the whole perspective. Things are really in perspective for you. And now you know exactly what changes need to be made, what you need to do in terms of your action, what you need to attack, and how you can improve things going forward. So I love that, Team Taurus. It was a massive moment of awareness that's now going to spark, I feel, quite a beautiful change in your life going forward. So Taurus, thank you. I appreciate you watching. Enjoy the rest of your mid-January 2024, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, okay? We're going to keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Shout out to Team Taurus. So we have touched base here with Aries and Taurus. Let's go ahead and get on into our Gemini. All right, Team Gemini, let's see what's up. Welcome in to the second half of your January 2024. Let's see what's going on here for you. What do we got in store here, please, for Team Gemini? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiacs throughout mid-January 2024. Starting out with the overall energy, Gemini, we got here a 3 of Pentacles, really working on things, trying to get something to work out here coming into the second portion of the month. Looking at the current energy here, we got a 4 of Cups, what it is you're dealing with. We have here a 3 of Wands, and then looking at the outcome, Team Gemini, is going to be the Sun in the upright position. So very interesting energies at hand. I do want to mention 3 of Pentacles coming in for you once again. It's the vibration of trying to put things together, to make something work out. And I do see here with the 4 of Cups coming up as the current energy, maybe you're having a little bit of difficulties getting something to work. So I think that jumping into mid-January, you're trying your hardest, but it feels like there's resistance, okay? It definitely feels like there's resistance. And I think you're getting to the point where it's like, well, I'm hoping that eventually that resistance clears. Like, I hope inevitably I can create what I'm working so hard to create. But right now, 4 of Cups, I feel like there's a blockage. I feel like something's in the way. I feel disconnected. So it's a little tricky here coming into the second half of the month. You know, you have to figure out what works for you. And this is going to be a time I'm hearing of experimenting. This is going to be the time here of trying something new and doing new things and new methods and new ways in order to get to the goal that you desire to achieve. So I feel for Gemini, if you want to be successful, try 10 million different paths, even though that's drastic. And of course, I'm not really telling you to try 10 million different paths, but try tons of different ways to get to a common goal. If we stick to just one and only one, you might find yourself remaining stuck, especially if that's not what's necessarily working for you. Let's say, for example, you have a goal to, lose maybe 10 pounds coming into the month or the next coming of months. Maybe you set that as a New Year's resolution. At the end of the day, you can lose 10 pounds, by hitting the gym a couple days a week, by eating better and eating healthier. But you have to remember everybody's body's different. So for one person, hitting the gym 3 times a week could be really empowering and beneficial for that person to lose weight. But maybe in your case, it has more to do with diet than it does working out. Everybody's body's different, everybody's method is different, so you have to figure out what works for you. That's the main point of the reading here coming into the second half of January. It's that right now, what may work for somebody else may not necessarily work for you, but it doesn't mean that you can't reach that desired or common goal, right? Now, at the end of the day, losing weight, one person may have a method that works for them, but maybe it don't work for you, or maybe what works for you does not work for them. So therefore, we have to go ahead and kind of explore and experiment and figure out what's going to be the thing that works for us to get us to success. So Geminis, I do see here a little bit of resistance with the 4 of Cups, like I mentioned. I think to a degree, you might be a little bit frustrated here in mid-January because it's like, why is what I'm trying to do not working out? Well, take a different approach here with the 3 of Pentacles. Try a different method. Don't just wait for it suddenly to work out one day. That won't happen. We know life is all about action. So let's figure out what kind of different paths we can try in order to get to our desired goal. And guess what? I think you'll figure it out. We have here the Sun card, and the 3 of Pentacles, by the way, is a card that already says that you have figured it out and things are working out for you. So if you've struggled in the beginning of January, or maybe you've struggled with a situation in your life back in 2023, you're going to be at a point here this second half of the month where you finally figure out what works for you. And it's not only going to bring in tons of happiness and relief, but it's going to bring in tons of excitement here because we're not dealing with the face of resistance anymore. We're finally seeing something come to life that we wanted to create within our reality. So Geminis, I love this for you, okay? But word to the wise for anybody. If one kind of method isn't working, that doesn't mean that you have to necessarily give up on your goal. Maybe it's time to try a different alternative route. Take a detour, That's always the best way that I like to look at it because no goal is impossible, but maybe just one specific method isn't really the method that works the best for you. So try to think outside the box, okay? All right, beautiful Geminis, I love ya. Take that if it resonates, of course, leave it if it doesn't, but thank you so much for tuning in nonetheless. Really love and appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your month, Team Gemini. So we have finished up our Geminis. Let's go ahead and hop on into the Cancer. Team Cancer, what's up here, baby? Let's have a look here at your second half of January. What do we got going on for our Cancers? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-January 2024. What's going to be going on here, please, for our lovely crab gang? Starting out with the overall energy, the 5 of Wands showing up for you. Taking a look here at the current energy, we got here the Ace of Swords, what you're dealing with at this time, 7 of Swords. Oh boy, looking at the current outcome, we do have the Star though. Interesting. So definitely might feel, I kind of feel like I might have to clarify these cards, Cancer, but anyhow, let's try to jump into it and see what we can get from this. So 5 of Wands coming in for you. Typically an energy that could be representative of stress. It could be an energy that's representative of frustration. So stress and frustration kind of seem to be at the forefront here for the second half of your month. But I feel like the Ace of Swords here is a moment where it's like, okay, like it's time for me to really think. It's time for me to kind of look into my situation and figure out, how am I going to solve something? How am I going to solve this stress or this frustration, right? As you can see here, we have the Ace of Swords showing up. This guy over here kind of has his brain exposed. So it's like Cancer's over here. It's like, I need to use my brain to the best of my ability. I need to really put my head together and figure something out. Also, Ace of Swords is naturally known to be a card that represents finding clarity and finding answers. So if there has been frustration and stress, maybe you don't necessarily know exactly where it's coming from, but this will be the time in the second half of the month where you can pinpoint it by seeking that clarity and trying to get things figured out. You know, I think that you're in an interesting situation, Cancer, because it's like, why have I been so frustrated? I can't put a number on it. I can't really understand why, but I think there is a bit of an external force, a snake in the garden, if you will, who's been around you, kind of planting a little bit of negative seeds here with the 7 of Swords. Whether you're dealing with a friend, a lover, somebody within your family sector, have you noticed that somebody's a little passive aggressive, Cancer? Have you noticed that somebody kind of plants those little negative seeds? It's like they don't come out, or they don't come off like they are trying to have negative intentions, but maybe you feel negative after having conversations with them, you know? Kind of like an example that I'm getting, Cancer, is, let's say, for example, you are interested in starting a business. Maybe the person you're dealing with is like, oh my God, that's so great. Hopefully, you know, you can be not a statistic and be the business that doesn't close down in the first year or so. Like, that right there did what? Planted a negative seed in your head, because the statistics of starting a business is that most people who do it shut down within the first year or so. So with that being said, Cancer, you're like, well, they showed support, but it felt kind of backhanded. And then they threw a negative statistic at me, and that made me worried and uncomfortable. So it's like, what the hell? So I'm picking up on that energy, guys, where someone here is planting negative seeds. That's the way that my guides are putting it. So very specifically to Cancer. So there's a bit of frustration showing up there. Looking at the outcome though, Star card here says, Cancer, this month, you have to rely on your path. You have to rely on where you're feeling called towards, whether you guys have got the idea to start a new business and that's your calling, whether you're feeling called to move somewhere new or to start something new, a new journey in your life. Be really careful of letting other people distract you from that path, because I feel like people may be very distracting here in the second half of the month. And for whatever reasoning, they're planting these negative seeds. I'm not sure, but I do see negative seeds here being planted. And the best way to avoid that is to remember what you feel about yourself, about your life, about what you're doing, about your situation. Your validity is going to be far more important than anybody's opinion, period. Okay? So definitely something to remember, Cancer. But yeah, I think that one of the biggest things you're going to uncover here in mid-January is the realization of like, wait, I kind of understand now why I'm frustrated, or why I'm upset, or why I feel like I'm dealing with a lot of anxiety. It really comes down to this external force of somebody who keeps on, once again, planting a lot of those negative seeds. And I think you're going to realize, I don't know if this is the kind of person or the kind of energy that I want to be around going forward. I want to see myself thrive. I want to see myself succeed. But if somebody here can have that effect on me, there's only one or two things that can happen. Either I can entirely tune them out and not let them get to me and invoke my power of choice and choose to resonate with myself. But if I still feel continuously triggered by this individual, and now that I'm aware that they're planting these negative seeds, maybe it is time to kind of isolate myself from them so I can better myself for the foreseeable future. The truth is, guys, is we have a choice whether or not somebody can kill our vibe. But if we don't feel like we're in a place of strength to be able to dodge that person from killing our vibe, you have every single right to not be open to their energy and to not allow them in your space going forward. Okay, guys? So Cancer, put it this way. Don't let no motherfucker kill your vibe, period. Keep on doing what you're doing. But if you are noticing that there's snakes in the garden around you, don't be afraid to cut off the head of the snake, if you will. Don't be afraid to walk away from those types of people and focus on your path and your dreams and what you got going on, because it's your life and you deserve to live it however you see fit and not let other people intervene. Okay, Cancerian, I love you. A little bit of a warning message, but do enjoy the second half of your January. I love and appreciate you. Just watch out for that snake in the garden, man, okay? We're going to keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Shout out Team Cancer. So we finished up our Cancerian. Let's get on into our Lion Gang. Team Leo, hi, how you doing? Welcome into your second half here of January, and let's see what's going on. What do we got showing up here for Leo, baby? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Zodiac throughout mid-January. 2024. What do we got in store here, please, for our beautiful Leo gang? Let's see what's up. Overall energy for Leos, 7 of Pentacles. Taking a look here at the current energy, we have a King of Wands, what you're dealing with here at this time. We have the Temperance, and then looking at the outcome, Leo is going to be the 8 of Swords in the upright position as well. So Leos, definitely planting seeds here with the 7 of Pentacles. Feels like it's a time right now where you are doing what you can to, create something new in your life, or you're also, I'm feeling as well, Leo, like planning. For some reason, planning came in mind as well. So you could be planning to get started on different projects, get started on different situations you're looking forward to manifesting this year. So looking at what you're dealing with too, King of Wands, you also I feel like Leo has so many aspirations, goals, and interests this year. So January could be like a massive month of planning for you. Maybe it's like, let me figure out exactly how I want to plan out my year. What do I want to do going forward? What do I want to achieve? I think some of you might have made a list possibly of things you wish to achieve in this year of 2024. If that's the case, cool. I love that for you. I like writing those lists out too. Either way though, guys, planting a lot of seeds and having a lot of interests. Yeah, Leo, I feel like you can't sit still. And it's hard to focus on one thing at a time because there's just so much that maybe you want to do. And there's a certain level of excitement here. However, though, you feel like it's slowing you down. Looking at the outcome, 8 of Swords, I don't know. I'm confused. I'm stuck. I don't know what I want to do or should do 100%. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of opportunities. But what should I narrow things down to? What should I solely focus on? Because I'm only human. I can't do everything at once. Let's say, for example, maybe you've had a lot of ideas of what you want to do for career, but maybe it's been hard to pin down what you really want to stick through with. Maybe you've had a lot of options in love, but who the heck do I pick? So I feel like you have a lot of energy, opportunity. You have a lot available in terms of resources at the mid-month mark here in January, but figuring out what you really want to commit all of your energy into at this time seems to be the most difficult part. Now, I always tend to say this to people. If one thing in mind doesn't jump out at you and you're automatically like, yes, this is what I want, then you probably don't want anything that's being presented to you, and especially in love. If you've ever found yourself stuck between one person and another person, at the end of the day, if you couldn't pick one over the other, you want neither. Because if you really wanted one person, you would have picked them instantaneously. So I would say look at your other areas of life kind of in a similar way. Let's say you have an opportunity to go into fashion. You also have an opportunity to go into photography, but you can't pick which one you would want over the other. Probably neither of them then is the best choice for you. But let's say out of nowhere, randomly, the idea of getting into social media management pops up and you're like, oh my God, I really want to do this. You'll know that that's the right choice. You'll always know that something's the right choice in general when you feel automatically connected to it, excited, when you light up, just thinking about it. So I think for you guys, kind of narrowing things down this month seems to be the main priority, if you will, so that you don't end up getting stuck inside your head and stuck in trying to choose what's going to be the next chapter of my life. So I think right now that's kind of the best bet. 7 of Pentacles here says you're planting lots of seeds though, aka you are taking a look at certain things that you'd be interested in. You're giving it your energy and you're seeing what essentially sticks out to you, right? So this is about seeing what works, taking time to experience, taking time to get out there. And I would say it's okay if you don't necessarily find exactly what you want to give all of your investment to just yet. These types of things could take time, especially in love. If you haven't found a person yet you want to commit to, don't settle down, right? Settle down when you find that person. If you haven't found a job that you want to give all of your commitment to and, grow and expand in that kind of career field, just work a job right now for income, but you don't have to settle for that job. So take your time with this experience, okay? At this time, Leo, as much as you possibly can. And when that one thing sticks out to you and you're like, wait, this is what I really want, you'll know that that's exactly what to give all of your energy to going forward. So you'll figure out what's right for you in due time, but it is going to call for your experience, okay? So try not to get too overwhelmed this month. Just try to do what you can for the best experience as possible, and to, just go with the flow. Inevitably, something here is going to stick for you, okay? All right, beautiful Leo, I love you. Take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't, but thank you for tuning in here nonetheless, okay? We're going to keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. So we have finished up our lovely Leo gang. We're now going to hop on into Team Virgo. So Virgo, let's see what's up and what's coming on in here for your mid-January 2024. All right, what do we got in store here, please, for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiac showing on out throughout January 2024. What's going to be happening here at the mid-month mark for Virgo throughout mid-January 2024. Starting out here with the first card, we do have here a Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Taking a look here at the current energy, the Two of Cups. What you're dealing with, Virgos, we got here the Page of Wands, and then looking at the overall outcome, we do have here a Strength card in the upright position as well. So pretty interesting energy at hand. Queen of Wands coming in, I love, because it's representative of confident energy, so you're feeling very confident here at this time. Two of Cups here as well as connection. So whether or not you're feeling confident with a romantic partner and confident in your relationship, confident in yourself, you're at a point here where whatever you're really connected to, you're incredibly confident in it. Looking at what you're dealing with here, Page of Wands. Page of Wands is excitement. This is the energy of thriving. I feel that for some of you guys, maybe you have found like the perfect career in mid-January where you feel confident in the kind of work you do, yet it's also exciting work, so it's never boring. There's always something to look forward to. Some of you guys could start feeling very confident in a connection with somebody. You're having a lot of fun with them with that Page of Wands. You're not feeling like there isn't anything to look forward to. There's always something to look forward to. So I think you're finding a sweet spot here where you feel motivated, where you feel connected, where you feel brought back to life. Something I feel pulled you out of autopilot and really brought you to the present, and it feels like life has gotten so much more enjoyable since then. So if it's a new person who's come in, it's like, yeah, ever since I met, Jimmy, or ever since I met Michael, I feel like I'm at a point in time where I'm so happy. I feel like Michael and Jimmy brought me back to life. I feel present. I'm excited every day. That's that type of energy. It's like you've gotten out of autopilot and you're waking up every day with a smile. You're happy. You're ready to go. Something has made you feel connected to your world again. That could be about a job as well. It could be about a hobby. It could be about a new lifestyle you're living, but I love that type of energy, Being on autopilot can serve a purpose, but inevitably not always the best route to go. We want to feel involved and participating in our lives. We don't want to feel detached from them. Yeah, looking at the outcome here, it could be a Leo you're dealing with, but we have here the Strength card. Strength card here is representative of being in a space and time where you've kind of removed yourself from that autopilot, removed yourself from the same shit, different day, and you finally feel reconnected to life. And I think that that's a beautiful, beautiful message and a beautiful reading to see nonetheless. Coming in here for mid-January, it's a beautiful time. I think naturally everybody goes on autopilot from time to time, but when you have that thing, and it doesn't even have to be a person like love, love of course really helps, but if it's even a job, that just sparked excitement in your life again, and you're like, woo, I feel great. I'm excited. I feel like there's something to do, right? And I feel like I'm participating in my life again. It's different. It's exciting. Whether it's a new hobby or a new way of living or a new lifestyle, it's like a very exciting time here, I feel. But I also feel like for you too, Virgo, like your confidence is so boosted as well at this time. And that's great too, guys. So you're feeling yourself. You're happy with yourself. You're happy with what you're involved in. You feel present to your life and your situation. There's excitement popping up here, and I feel like there's excitement to wake up in the morning. And overall, you've removed yourself from the types of things that you feel have kind of kept you trapped and stuck in that autopilot mentality. So Virgo, whatever came in for you, I definitely think, in a way, it's kind of reawakened you to enjoying life again, especially if you were stuck in that autopilot energy for quite some time. I love that. That's awesome. Virgo, take that, of course, if it resonates. Leave it if it doesn't. But guys, thanks for tuning in here so much nonetheless. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you so, so much, okay? All right, Team Virgo, we're going to keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. All right, moving on forward, hopping on into Libra. Team Libra, let's see what's going on here for you. Coming on into your mid-January 2024. What do we got going on? Message is showing up here for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus throughout mid-January 2024. What do we got going on here for you? Libra, overall energy for you is going to be the Four of Wands. Taking a look here at your current energy, we got here the Emperor, what it is you're dealing with at this time. We have here a Nine of Swords, and then looking at the outcome, 10 of Wands coming into play for you at the second half of the month. Okay, well, we start out here first and foremost with the Four of Wands. So overall, it does feel like there is a sense of security. There's definitely a sense here of love and wealth and comfort. So in terms of an emotional environment, definitely feels like there's emotional security at play. There even could be financial security at play showing up here too. But I think that in terms of your security, everything feels good, but one thing feels like it's missing. And that's what I'm picking up on. Looking at the current energy, the Emperor, you can focus on what it is you're in control of, and 100% you can expand on things you're in control of and make them the best that they can be. However, though, I think there is one thing in specific that's beyond your control, and that's what seems to be on your mind here in the second half of the month. Maybe right now, this could be the energy of missing somebody specific, and it's not in your control whether or not they choose to participate in your life. Maybe you wish you got more out of a connection with somebody, but they didn't show up in that connection. Maybe you wish that somebody gave you more of an opportunity when they didn't. So ultimately, there's this one thing I feel like you're fixated on that's out of your power. And looking at the outcome here, 10 of Wands, it's like that feels burdensome. I wish I could change it. I wish I could be in control of this. I wish I could make this better. But unfortunately, I can't improve that situation for myself when it depends upon somebody else and not upon myself. So that seems to be kind of the focal point for you. But when we look at this being the focal point, remember that when we have a focus, we can shift our focus too. At the end of the day, we're not in control of everything. We're in control of our actions, our choices, what we choose to do in life. But unfortunately, with free will, well, not even unfortunately, free will should be a thing, right? But at the end of the day, with free will in play, we cannot change everything or control everything in ways we would like it to be. Now, maybe control is not the right word here. I feel like you're just, in a sense, disappointed that maybe things aren't working out in ways that you would have loved them to, right? But overall, guys, if we focus on shifting our focus towards what's actually going well for us here with the Four of Wands this month, if we shift our focus to what security we have already, that's the best part. At the end of the day, guys, where your attention goes is where energy flows. So therefore, if we're focusing our attention on the beautiful stuff, the stuff we're grateful for, the stuff we're happy with, we get that energy back in return. Although there might be something here that we cannot change, this is going to be the time here to accept what it is you cannot change, but to focus on doing what you can to expand the things you can in the most wonderful and beautiful ways as possible. So Libra, try to get into the energy of acceptance here for whatever you may not be able to change. As unfortunate as it may be, and as much as it may suck, and as much as you may feel unhappy about it, the truth is that if it's not within your power, it's not within your power. And you can spend time harping on that, but it's not going to help you. That's only going to hurt you. At the end of the day, though, if we were to shift our focus onto what's going well in our lives and what we have control over and what we can expand even more beautifully so than where it's currently at, then this is the time to focus on that stuff instead, okay? So hopefully you guys take into consideration shifting your focus here, because I feel like that's going to very much so aid and benefit you moving forward throughout the second half of your month, okay? All right, beautiful Libras, I love you. Take that if it resonates, of course, leave it if it doesn't. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in here nonetheless, Team Libra. So we have done our beautiful Libra gang. We're now going to go ahead and hop on into Team Scorpio. So Scorpio, hello. Let's see what's going on here in your second half of the month for January 2024. What do we got showing up here for Team Scorpio, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus throughout mid-January 2024. What do we got showing up here for Scorpio? Two of Pentacles came out for you. Some of you might find yourself dealing with inconsistencies, or maybe you're finding yourself kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You might be trying to make certain choices, but kind of not sure which direction or path you want to go into. Okay, a little bit of a random message there. Take that if that applies. But let's have a look at your overall reading, starting out with the overall energy. Two of Swords. There we go. Same kind of energy coming back out. Looking at the current energy, Two of Pentacles actually coming back out. What you're dealing with here, the Hierophant. And then looking at the outcome for you, the Ace of Cups. Okay, so Scorpio definitely feels like confusion is coming into play here in mid-January. I'm not sure necessarily what you're feeling like confused about, or But the energy here says you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. I think you're stuck between a rock and a hard place here in terms of commitments. Looking at what you're dealing with here, the Hierophant. Hierophant is commitment energy. It's also the energy of like what's expected of you, the status quo, societal values. So I think right now you're kind of having a moment where you disagree with what you're expected to show up as or how you're expected to show up in this world. Maybe you're disagreeing with how society says you should be living your life. Maybe you're disagreeing with how other people are saying you should be living your life. Or maybe you're disagreeing with commitments that you don't feel that you necessarily need to keep up with. The point is though, guys, is fuck the status quo. Screw doing things the normal way. Screw doing what's expected of you. At the end of the day, you should be the person with the expectations of yourself. Who cares about other people's expectations? I know a lot of people, for example, right? One of the biggest expectations that a lot of people struggle with and feel pressured into is expectations from parents. Don't get me wrong. I think the majority of the time here, parents have expectations that they believe are positive and healthy for you, but sometimes they can't see how straining and draining that is on a child. Sometimes they cannot see that their expectations are not necessarily what they should be placing upon their children, because there are certain cases where parents are trying to live vicariously through their kids, but no matter what, and no matter if you are 25 or 40, sometimes parents can still be this way. So I want you guys to know, whether it's family, whether it's your friends, whether it's your romantic partner, you don't have to subdue yourself to anybody else's expectations other than what you expect for yourself, whether it's society or anybody, okay? You get to live your life. You're the only person, Scorpio, who walks in your shoes, and what you choose to do with your life is entirely up to you, not anybody else. So I think that this is going to be the month here where you start to recognize, I'm going back and forth here with the Two of Swords on, do I do what's expected of me from other people? Do I live my life to make others happy, or do I live my life for me, man? And I think that this is the time you live your life for you. Looking at the outcome here, Ace of Cups, first and foremost, you got to fill up your cup first before you can fill up the cup of another person. But also, you deserve. That's how I was going to say that, Scorpio. But you deserve to enjoy yourself, okay? Yeah, I put both of those two words together, huh? Enjoy and deserve. You deserve. Anyhow, though, Scorps, this is a time for you to enjoy yourself, okay? You deserve this shit. And you don't have to subdue to anybody else or what they want or what they expect out of you, right? And you have to take a look at commitments too. Just because you've committed to something in the past, or you said that this is what you're devoted and committed to, doesn't mean that you have to be devoted or committed forever. Remember that as well. Whether we're talking about romantic relationships, whether we're talking about work, you have the free will in your life for a reason to walk away from what you may no longer feel serves you at any given point in your life. So you're not locked in or tied into anything, and don't allow yourself to feel like you are. You are a free and sovereign being. Enjoy your freedom, live your life how you please, and allow yourself to find love and happiness, because Scorpio, at the end of the day, that is what you deserve the most, okay? All right, beautiful Scorpios, I love you. Take that if it resonates, of course, leave it if it doesn't, but do have a great rest of your January 2024, okay? We're going to keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward, so shout out to Team Scorpio, okay? All right, everybody. So we have done our Scorpio. We're going to now go ahead and move on into Team Sagittarius. So Saggy, hello, and let's see what we got going on. Messages coming in here for our zodiac sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiac throughout mid-January 2024. What's coming on in here, please, for our zodiac signs of Sagittarius throughout mid-January 2024? What do we got going on here for you? Let's take a look. Overall energy coming in is going to be the Wheel of Fortune. Looking at the current energy, we have here the Three of Wands, what you're dealing with. We got here a Death card, and then taking a look here at the outcome, Sagittarius, we do have here a Chariot as well. Just want to mention, you could be connecting with a Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo. You also may be connecting with a Cancerian with that Chariot card. Now, I see here first and foremost with the Wheel of Fortune coming into play for you, typically represents the energy of change, right? And usually it's pretty big changes, something you're not accustomed to, something that is not necessarily in your comfort zone kind of change. I feel like with the current energy here being the Three of Wands, I think you've been waiting to invoke this change for a while. However, coming into mid-January, it's like, I can't wait any longer. I have to do this. So I do see here with the Death card, something is shifting. And I don't think you expected it to be so soon or so sudden. However, though, it needs to happen. It needs to get done is what I'm hearing for you. So maybe some of you guys are making changes to your career. Maybe some of you guys are making changes here to your personal life, your friendships, your finances, etc. But even though it feels a little bit sudden and soon, you know that this is what's right for you, and you knew inevitably this change had to be made. I don't know if you were 100% prepared or ready for it, but it's happening now, and this is something that you're just going to have to adapt to, is what you're saying to yourself. So looking at the outcome here, the Chariot, you're getting ready here to embark on a new journey and embark on a completely brand new path is what I'm seeing for you, jumping into the month of mid-January. So yeah, like I mentioned, Sag, I'm not sure necessarily what changes are coming in for you. It could be career-based, personally based, could be friendships, love, etc. But Wheel of Fortune is usually representative of a pretty big change, the closing of one chapter and jumping into something that's a brand new chapter in your life. I think for you, maybe you felt like this was far away, like, you know, that changes so much later down the road, but it turns out it came a lot more earlier than maybe you might have expected. So there could be a sudden change coming in for you. I wish I could pinpoint exactly what it is, but for every Sagittarius, it's going to be so many, you know, different situations for various different Saggies. So take it how it applies here personally to you. Okay. So yeah, you might not have seen it coming this quick, but I do see it happening here, but I don't feel any negative energy behind whatever these shifts or changes are. So hopefully that puts you at ease if there is any sort of sudden shift, because to me personally, it doesn't look that bad. I think you're going to be happy with the changes accordingly. Okay. All right, beautiful Sagittarius, take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't, but thank you so much for coming out here to mid-January, and do have a great rest of your month. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Thank you, Team Sagittarius, for watching. So we have done our Sagittarius. We're now going to go ahead and hop on in to our Capricorn. Team Capricorn, let's get it. What's going on for you, baby? Want to wish my Capricorns a great rest of their birthday and a great rest of their season. Happy birthday to you guys. I know we'll be shifting out of your season quite shortly, but I hope you had a wonderful Capricorn season nonetheless. Anyhow, though, what's going on here for our Cappuccinos? Team Capricorn coming on into mid-January 2024. What's going on for you beautiful peeps? Starting out with the overall energy, we got here the Seven of Wands, what you're dealing with. Sorry, what your current energy is. We got here the Eight of Wands, what you're dealing with here. We got the Three of Swords, looking at the outcome, Capricorn. We have here the Nine of Cups coming into play here for you. So, not too shabby. Seven of Wands showing up for you is typically representative of blocking something out, standing your ground. Okay, could be that type of energy too. Looking at the current energy, we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so we went from the 7 to the 8. Now, typically, that would invoke going up 1, which would be the Ace of Wands. So 7 plus 1 creates the 8, meaning that the Ace of Wands has to happen in between this. So I think you're having a new beginning. And I feel like you're standing your ground here, Capricorn, for this new beginning to come to pass. Looking at what you're dealing with here, Three of Swords. Three of Swords could be representative of pain, unhappiness. It could be representative, too, of feeling left out in the cold. I think what's happening for you is you're choosing here to fight for yourself and to fight for your happiness. You're over the pain, you're done with the pain, and you're not submitting to it any longer. I'm kind of seeing that moment here for you, Capricorn, where it's like, yeah, something inside me kind of just snapped, and I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be unhappy anymore. If I, maybe the Three of Swords represents you went through a breakup, maybe I don't want to miss that person anymore. I want to move on from that individual, right? So I think you're done letting your pain own you, if you will, and this is the time to take control back into your life and to take control back into your happiness. So you're going to be doing the work here with the Eight of Wands paired to the Three of Swords. This is the time where you're going to go to the point within yourself where you allow those emotions to come up, because at the end of the day, feeling is indeed healing. But you're going to do that inner work. You're going to do that healing work. And I feel like you're coming out here fantastically. Looking at the outcome, Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups here is representative of happiness and personal fulfillment. So it looks to me that by the ending here of mid-January 2024, you're coming out feeling a heck of a lot better, considering that you decided to fight for your happiness rather than submit here to maybe some of the things in your life that were causing unhappiness overall. All right. I think everybody deserves to be happy. And most importantly, whatever it is you've went through, no matter what, I think everybody always deserves to fight for their happiness and should fight for their happiness as well. You know, you might have been a Capricorn who found themselves in a situation where it's like, well, I'm just so unhappy. And that's just that, you know? Maybe you got broken up with, maybe somebody did something shitty, maybe somebody deceived you, and you're, you know, I think in the past it was kind of like, well, it is what it is. This is what happened. You know, there's no way for me to get over this. But I think that coming into mid-January, you're like, fuck that. There's always a way to move on. There's always a way to heal. And there's always an ability for me to fight for myself and fight for my happiness. So with that being said, I'm done sitting in this energy. I want to do something about it. And I want to be the change for myself, okay? Which is so damn beautiful. So Capricorns, I love that you guys are focusing here on your own personal happiness, shifting and changing that, and definitely do hope you guys enjoy the rest of your mid-January, okay? Beautiful reading. We're going to go ahead here and keep a poppin' pushing and moving forward. Thank you, Capricorns, for tuning on in, okay? All right, everybody. Moving on forward, we finished up our Capricorn, so we're now going to hop on in here to Team Aquarius. Aquarius, what's up? Let's see what's going on here for your second half of January. All right, what do we got in store here, please, for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Zodiac throughout mid-January 2024. What's going on? Starting out with the overall energy, we got here a Queen of Wands. Taking a look here at the current energy, we have here the Hangman, what you're dealing with, Aquarius. We have here the Two of Swords. And then looking at the outcome for you guys, the Four of Swords in the upright position. So I think you're at a point in time where you're starting to become very expressive of yourself, but I also get that feeling here where suddenly that expression stops with the Hangman. I think that it goes from you feeling like you can express yourself, you can put yourself out there, you can be out there, and then out of nowhere, Hangman card shows up. You no longer feel like you can. You start to become a little bit more reserved and a little bit more in recluse, Aquarius, at this time. Looking at what you're dealing with, Two of Swords. I don't know if I can really show up as who I truly am, or if I can express myself to the fullest of my abilities, because it kind of feels like there's like a certain level of rejection, maybe, Aquarius, that's coming in at this time when you are being who you are. And in a way, that makes you uncomfortable. So I feel like for some Aquarians, you're finding it hard or difficult to be yourself around someone. It could be someone new that you're dealing with. It could be somebody within your friend group. Maybe it's somebody in your romantic life and romantic sector. Maybe it's a coworker, but I think there's this frustration. It's like, I don't want to feel toned down or be toned down. I just simply want to be me. So this is telling me that somebody here can be dimming your light, Aquarius, showing up here in mid-January 2024. But I think, though, overall, looking at the outcome, Four of Swords here says, well, if I can't be myself in this environment, then I don't want to be a part of this environment here going forward. Therefore, I actually see you guys walking away. So instead of allowing this situation to be dimming your light, Aquarius, this is you guys saying, I'm going to be who I am 110% no matter what, and I'm not going to let anybody or any specific environment stop me. So if you find yourself feeling like you can't be who you are, then you don't want to be a part of that kind of environment in the first place if there isn't true authenticity. Because Aquarius, you want to be your authentic version, and I get that. And you should be, right? Point blank, period. You know, maybe you guys are kind of around somebody who's been a bit judgmental of you, or maybe somebody new got introduced to the friend group and you're just like, you know, they just don't vibe with me well, or they don't like who I am. Fuck it. I don't want to associate with them, right? And you guys deserve to be who you are, your authentic selves. You shouldn't have to shield or mask who you are just to make somebody else happier, you know, or to make somebody else pleased, right? So this is about walking away from that, living in your authentic truth. And the truth is, guys, is that this is the best way to go about anything, because when you walk away from people who can't appreciate your authenticity, it puts you into a place where you can find people who do, right? So it's always good to walk away from individuals who don't click with you or vibe with you, because when you're being your authentic self, when you're living in your truth, you're going to end up aligning to the people who get to appreciate that truth, who get to appreciate you, that you also feel connected to as well. So this is going to be something that does you more of a favor, walking away, rather than staying in this kind of environment and toning down who you are just to make somebody else here happy. So Aquarius, this is how you find your true soul tribe. It's just by simply being yourself. And the beautiful thing about being who you are 110% is that when you find the people who fuck with you for who you truly are, they're always going to love that version of you, right? You don't have to mask who you are for somebody here to show up and love you. You get to be who you are, and that's the most beautiful thing. So continue being yourself. Continue living in your truth. And for somebody who doesn't want to resonate with that or doesn't, screw it. You don't have to be involved with them, period, okay? All right, Team Aquarius. Well, let's keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward, you know? I do think that you might find yourself being a little bit dimmed down here as, somebody's not resonating with who you are, but, don't stick around with that. Don't let anybody dim your light. Be who you are, okay? I love you, Team Aquarius. And by the way, you guys have lots of beautiful light to give to this world. So with that being said, shine on brightly, okay? All right, Aqua. We're going to keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Thank you for tuning on in, okay? All right, everybody. We have done our Aquarius. We're now moving on into our last but not least zodiac sign, Team Pisces. Let's see what we got going on here for the fish throughout the second half of January. So let's see what's going on for you. What do we got coming in here for Pisces, baby? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus zodiac throughout mid-January 2024. What's going to be going on here for the fish? Message is showing up here for Piscean throughout mid-January 2024. What do we got going on here for you? Starting out with the overall energy, Pisces, we do have here the Hermit card. Taking a look here at the following, which is going to be your your current energy. We have here a Queen of Cups. What you're dealing with, Piscean, we have here the Devil. And then looking at the outcome for Pisces peeps is going to be the Eight of Cups in the upright position. So shielding yourself from a devil-like moment definitely seems to be something coming into play for you. I think you've been very empathetic, though, towards somebody who's in this devil energy, and you're starting to realize I can be empathetic or empathize with somebody, but it doesn't mean that I have to necessarily sacrifice my happiness or more so involve myself emotionally in that kind of energy. I can empathize with the person, but I don't have to be the person to fix them. And I also think you're realizing here too, I can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped. And at the end of the day, a person can only really truly help themselves. So I feel like you're starting to isolate yourself from someone at this time, Pisces. Maybe you're connecting with a friend here. Maybe you're connecting with a lover and romantic partner. Maybe it's somebody within the family sector, etc. And I think it's been a little bit of a harsh experience because you're trying to help somebody you love, but you're finding that every time you try to help them, they push you away, and it's like, what am I to do here? If I can't help you because you're not working with me, then I simply cannot help you. And I think you're also noticing how them being in that devil-like energy takes a huge toll on your own personal energy as well. So I think what's happening for you with the Eight of Cups here for the outcome, Pisces, is you're getting ready here to love somebody from a distance. You wish this individual well, don't get me wrong. You wish them well. You hope they heal. You hope they move forward. But you're not going to be a part of that process, especially when they haven't been accepting of you in the first place. And you're not going to keep putting yourself in a draining environment, especially if you're not able to aid this person or if things are not improving overall, because that's not going to help anybody. So I think that jumping into mid-January, this is about recognizing you can have compassion and love for those that might be struggling in life, but you can also have that same compassion and love from a distance, especially when they're involved in a situation where they have to kind of figure it out. And also on top of that, when they're not trying to get any sort of help from anybody, when they're pushing everybody away, all they really are going to have is themselves to get themselves out of this devil-like situation. So I do see you guys distancing a little bit here from a specific person, but I think it's one of those scenarios where they got to figure it out on their own. And at the same time here, Pisces, you deserve to protect your energy, point blank, period. So of course, take this message if it resonates, Piscean, leave it if it doesn't. But I definitely understand where you're coming from. Protecting your energy is incredibly important. And it takes two to tango in order to do some work in whatever kind of relationship this is. If they're not willing to do the tango with you, you can't be the only one dancing. Otherwise, it ain't the damn tango, point blank, period. So Pisces, could be a little bit of a hard situation. I think you empathize, and I think that a part of you wishes that they were in better spaces, but it's not up to you here anymore, Pisces. The ball is in their court, okay? All right, my beautiful fish, I love ya. Take it if it resonates, of course. Leave it if it doesn't, but have a great rest of your mid-January 2024, and thank you, Piscean, for stopping on by, okay? All right, Team Pisces, we're going to go ahead here and keep it popping, pushing, and moving forward. Thank you very much. And with that all being said, guys, I want to thank you all so much for coming out here to your mid-January all signs video. All right, I really appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I'd be happy to have you and welcome you here into the Soul family. I do want to let everybody know as well, if you're interested, as always, in a personal reading, you can check out my website, CancerMoonsTarot.com. It'll be the first link in the description box below, so feel free to book me there if you would like to. All right, everybody, have a wonderful and amazing rest of your January 2024, and I will catch everybody in the next video. Much love, and have yourselves a good one. Peace.